Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, I've been around the block a few times, and I don't think I am that naive in thinking that things are ideal or close to ideal, and democracy is perfect here, free speech is this, and we free people and free country. Everything is limited. Now, the degree of limitation matters. We have free speech. Limited free speech could be this much, or limited free speech could be this one. Or it could be in the process of, depends. It's always in the process. And somehow is not more, is less. You can't say this, you can't say this. If you say this, you have to self-censor whatever you say. Otherwise, you lose your job sometimes, or you get frowned upon or written up by your supervisor or whomever weasel that doesn't understand shit about the world. So what's going on here? It seems like Donald Trump did something so bad. I didn't expect this degree. I have to tell you, if I didn't expect it, it means I was not ready to accept that they can go this far. And for me, and I'll tell you why, these things are not an example of justice. No, yes, it's a just system here, and justice system is doing its whatever. It's fantastic. No, because I see people who should be brought in front of the justice or the justice system. They were brought in, little slap, and moved on because they were their boys. So when I see what's going on with Trump as a citizen, as a president, very, very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. I didn't expect these guys to go this deep into the Donald Trump, trying to get him with this, with that. Remember when Chuck Schumer, I think a New York senator of New York, Zelensky Stein, he said Trump is stupid. It's on camera. Trump is stupid for taking on the FBI or intelligence services or whatever he called the community, because they have I don't know how many ways to get at you. And he was right, Schumer, but he said something that was not supposed to be told in a democracy and a free country. That means don't attack your employees because they will get you in many, many ways. Basically, that's what he said. How do you can get a president? FBI, CIA, NSA, these guys work for him, are state departments, are federal government departments. That means are under the US's control. He's in charge of all the heads of these departments. And somehow that guy over there, Schumer, which I think he's right, says, don't attack your own departments because those guys turn around you and they can pick you up. You would say, really? It's like you say, well, I'm going to get on the owner of the company. And here I know the janitor. Really? Can you do that? He's going to fire you, call the police and evict you in a second out of the building, get you out. Okay? But no, here, no, somehow. So what happened now? Very dangerous development, very dangerous. I mean, anyway, here it is. They want to stick this on Trump. Special counsel informs Trump he is target in probe of efforts to overturn 2020 election. Now you say, yes, if you try to do that, by all means should be, and here's a probe and so on. Looking at how flimsy even these things, I'm not going to talk about the September 11, about the January 6 riots, again, they try to stick him. Special counsel Jack Smith has informed former President Donald Trump by letter that he is a target of his investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Maybe Trump is also guilty of the Ukraine war. Are they going to stick that to him? Whatever works. Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC News. Trump also confirmed the development in a post on his Truth Social platform. The letter, which sources said was transmitted to Trump's attorneys in recent days, indicates that yet another indictment of the former president could be imminent, though it is not immediately clear what kind of charges he could ultimately face. So, my friends, they tried to stick him with, he was in charge of the January 6th riots. I don't want to even call them that way, protests. And some of those protests turned into riots. And the rest, I'm sorry. Can I be a denier? Am I allowed to be a denier? Or now if you're a denier, they round you up, put you on a stake and they burn you like they used to. Well, they don't burn you, they just destroy your means of subsistence, which is fire you. And then can find a job, or find a job somewhere that you cannot survive anymore, or survive barely. And that's called economic, when you try to eliminate something, what do you call that? Man, it's a farce. So let's go back to this thing. Putin, yes. Trump is very, very cornered. What could he have done so bad that these guys are getting on him like on anybody else? Some might say, well, nobody else did what Trump did. That's why. All right, you can go back at CNN and watch The View, drink your little beer and your games, and maybe go shopping and get some political correct dolls, if you know what I mean, for your children, so you don't called ist or anything like that. Okay, you can do that and go definitely vote. But let us have another conversation. What could he have done? Well, how did he threaten the whole thing, so the whole establishment? With like an earthquake? I don't even think he did, I would say, almost anything. Why? Because when he barked orders to his employees, the heads of the departments, they didn't do it. Some did, some didn't. Remember the troops? Remember the southern border? Remember many things that he wanted to get rid of, and he didn't. He was not able. I can't understand, or not understand, why he didn't write any executive orders. It's true that an executive order could be immediately, overturned, override, whatever you call it, by the next president. So it's good for just that period of time. But still, you don't know if you give yourself time to reverse something, and in the meantime you work with lawmakers to vote it the way you want it. But he had problems with his wall whenever his party was in the majority in Congress. And what happened? They didn't want to fund it. His own party, that was not his own party. That was them against this guy. I think because he said so many things, and he wanted to do with NATO, with the stupid Paris Accords, global warming, and all the emissions and all that. He did certain things, again, independent. With energy independent, yes. These guys, what are they doing? Sucking the petroleum strategic reserves dry. That's at what, 340 million barrels from 370, I think it was 370 yesterday, I covered it, and they are maximum at 714. These guys suck it dry, and their economy is booming somehow. So Trump is these guys, and this is like a collective guilt and collective punishment. After they're done with Trump, they will be done with Trump. After they're done with Trump, guess who's next? Next echelon, his family. And then family and family and family. And that gets you to certain kind of things in the Old Testament, upon you and your offspring and so on. His blood be on us. So forever, for generations. And remember, you punish someone 7 generations back, according to some writings. So very strange. It's not like Jesus, turn the other cheek, forgive and forget your enemy and all that. No. Forgive, obviously. Forget is if you want. But here you have it. Now we don't. What law we use from the Judeo-Christian so-called tradition and culture that we have. Yes, this is a Judeo-Christian nation. If that would be the case, I would be on the stake right now, burned. So don't give me that one. Without the Roman law and without that kind of civilization, we would still be torching witches in the square right there. Or maybe guillotining, but those guys use that one. These guys use different means. Yeah, okay, I like to be where I am. I don't want to go towards that Judeo-Christian tradition. Judeo-Christian tradition started more than 2,000 years ago, okay? That's when the Christian tradition started. And then you got the Judeo, you go back a little bit longer. But if we take that one, just look back and see how much justice they dispensed. I don't want that. I don't want to be meet the fate of, and I'm not, of Galileo Galilei or Giordano Bruno or others. That kind of justice. I'm not going to go to the Inquisition as well. So I don't want that Judeo-Christian culture or whatever. Sorry. Face reality, my friends. Face reality. You don't like it? Well, it's right there. So it's not making things up. This is evidence. These are historical events. And they are based on a little thing that's black on white. Anyway, they're not guilty of Trump, but here with Trump is this... there are two... I mean, if this would happen in a country that these people here, exceptional people, would deem as being a banana republic or this kind of, not in the United States. If this would happen over there, immediately they would say, wow, they're targeting their opposition. Remember that Navalny or whatever, he's Putin's nemesis. Putin's not even that, Navalny. Oh my God, he's targeted by Russia. Russia is not a democracy. He is the opposition. The opposition broke his parole. The opposition, Mr. Navalny, was charged not because he's in opposition, but he did some hanky-panky. You say, well, he was targeted. Well, if he was targeted, is Trump not targeted? Nope. The justice system here is. Do you think the justice system in the United States is like the Russian? I think is depends on the circumstance. Anyway, remember that guy Holder? I think he was Obama's attorney general. Remember that what was Fast and Furious thing with arms and drugs and whatever? Remember that one? He was subpoenaed to come in front of the Congress, and he just said, you. And he said, what, presidential privilege or something? And nothing happened to that guy. Remember the former, I think it was FBI or CIA, I think it was FBI, when he was asked again in a Senate meeting, was not Senate meeting, how do you call it? Jesus. He was in front of a panel of, investigative, and he was asked if the intelligence services are spying on the American citizens, and he said, no. And then there was a perjury right there. You can still find it on but they say, no, he didn't say that. You go and watch it it's still on YouTube if you look real deep nowadays. It is there, but real deep. So those guys, that should be immediately. You destroy evidence when you're subpoenaed, that's a felony immediately. Anybody did that? Anybody was subpoenaed and then destroyed some hard drives? No. And she was scot-free after that. She was investigated, nothing, and she's fine. And it was, what was that? Oh, there was a witch hunt. What was that? Zimbabwe, in Libya. Those Zambezi, Zimbabwe, I can't remember the Gimbezi, I can't remember the whatever that happened. Remember that one? Oh, they're trying to get her. Look what happened over there. Look her reaction. We have everything. This guy? Well, let's find out. But this is not the first attempt. And how come this guy became so corrupt only after he became president of the United States of America? Why not before? It's very strange. Before, you don't hear people, no. Here, all of a sudden. Well, because he's got more power, Emil, and because he became a tyrant. How? When Trump becomes president, he's going to abolish this, he's going to abolish that, he's going to be instituting martial law. That's how we were scared into it. And a lot of people at work, these guys have not been around the building, around the block at all. They don't, and they vote. That's another point. I can go on and on and on. But nevertheless, they want to get him. And eventually they will. They will do whatever they want to do. They will reach their goals. I guarantee you that. He might not be a candidate, not be allowed to run for president, or arrested and put in jail, and then his family and all. That's my prediction. I don't know if he's not going to be allowed, but this is the goal, the first post that has to be reached. And after that, go to the next one. If they put it in jail before that, or they bar him from running for the election, that's the first step. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.